questions or comments?
So Hannah, we're sitting outside here in the Virginia heat, and the blue cheese has turned into a nice goopy kind of consistency. And I gotta say, I think it's actually better that way.
It's probably releasing a lot of like creaminess and that fat, so it probably is good. I would just as like a general, like less than like 2 hours at that temperature. Probably afterwards, I would be hesitant to eat it. Typically, we say cheese can go 4 hours unrefrigerated, but in the Virginia heat, maybe 2 hours, and just keep an eye on it. But if it's tasting better, that's good. There will be a certain point where it's probably not going to be tasting better. It will be tasting much, much worse.
Yeah, no doubt. We're about 90-something degrees right now, so it's a little bit much, but yeah.
Can't say anything about my 60-degree, beginning of fall weather in the Burgundy,
Quiet. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to.
Sorry.
I can't wait.
We'll see you soon. It's time to pick some grapes. When are you coming?
Tomorrow.
Oh. Gotta clean.
Yeah.
Put this back.
Anna, just make sure the car has gas and you vacuum the car, please.
Should I make restaurant reservations?
No, we won't have time for that.
Don't worry about coming. It's not worth it.
And back to the wine pairing. Anybody have any other in the Hannah? You have some other. I guess you mentioned some other blue cheese that would work just as well.
Yeah, you could definitely do. Well, most blue cheeses that have that nice acidity. Bleu d'Auvergne is a good one. You could probably play with the Jasper Hill. They have a blue, like also in a cylindrical shape. But really the blue, once it gets that blue veining, it really gets a nice saltiness. So I really think you could do it. Try, if you're able to, a Roquefort cheese. That's like the most classic blue. It's one of the 47 French AOPs. It's going to be sheep's milk. So even more acidity because of the milk. We stayed with all cows today. That's just how it ended up. But typically, if we're going to do a cheese board, it would be nice to have either a goat or a sheep milk present. This one just worked out to be all cows. But we had different textures, different styles of cheese. So it was still, in my opinion, a rounded cheese board. But yeah, if you're able to try Roquefort cheese, it's going to be sheep's milk. It's going to be a blue. They actually age it in caves in France. And I think you're able to get, a nice one at Feast, if I believe. Or another local cheese shop should have it. It's one of the classic cheeses. So give that a try as well. And
Hannah, do you know where we could get good Roquefort in Richmond?
Yeah, there's a cheese shop, something with the name Truckle in it. And I know that I think Sarah Ducci, who used to be the cheesemonger in Charlottesville, is now in Richmond, if I believe. But if you can't find local, Wegmans has great cheeses, and you could definitely find it. I believe at Wegmans they carry Société Roquefort, which is a nice brand. And so you could always check it out there. Up and down the East Coast, they have locations.
Ollie?
That's where we went. Truckle cheese in Richmond. Yeah. Amazing. That's where we got.
Yeah, good. I've heard good things about them, so it's nice to know. I follow.
They know their stuff.
It's my network, so it's cool. Good to know.
They're attached to Blue Bee Cider, and I highly recommend. They know their stuff. We came in there with the list that you provided, and she was able to give comparable cheeses that have been on point.
Good. Yeah, so this is a great way to really interact with your local cheese scene. We're keeping the wines, MS Wineworks, but there's lots of small cheese businesses around and big cheese businesses, and it's really a growing industry. So the more support you can give to them, the better. I mean, everyone during this time has been hit, especially cheesemakers, because their product is so fresh and temperamental. So you really see an effort in the American cheese community to sell cheese, to grow appreciation, lots of these virtual cheese pairings, just because, if it's a 6-week aging period, if in 6 weeks, the grocery stores are still closed or people are hesitant to go outside, you're throwing milk away, you're throwing cheese away. So now is the best time, if there ever was a time, to eat cheese. So fully in favor of that.
Any other questions for Hannah about the cheeses?
Michael, I have a general question for you.
Sure.
Actually, 2 questions. Number 1, what's happening with your Odette line? I haven't seen that for a while. And second, have you ever considered using the Stelvin cap?
So Odette is still available at both locations. We're still making Odette, and we still have, as we haven't, thought about trying to feature it in this pairing, but no, we're still making the Odette blend, and that's still available. I haven't done any Stelvin for myself. We do a lot of screw cap. Stelvin is a screw cap. We haven't done any for my wines. I'm still prefer the style that we get in a cork versus a screw cap. So for me, I'm still a big fan of the aging process that we get in cork, though the Stelvin screw caps are now permeable and have micro oxygenation going on through the capsule. So you do get some air. They kind of designed it to work just like a cork, tiny amounts of air, but I still prefer the aging and the effect on the wine with natural cork. Any other questions? I was going to try to, I don't know if I can, will this show up on the camera?
Pork chops and boneless things.
Hannah,
But
can you do that?
I can see that. I know those things.
All right, just make sure we have some of that.
You can't show everybody that and not invite them here.
Well, I just want to make sure Tuesday when I get there, that's
Those are the cheeses from my cheese shop where I work. Those are some of our classic cheeses. So he's just teasing everyone. But also, it's also a testimony to how much cheese we really eat. That's for like a week, and it goes away in a week. It gets consumed. That's like 7 cheeses, and we help the local economy a lot.
So Hannah, I suggest you start a newsletter, an email newsletter for the Wineworks customers. This week in cheese, and feature a different cheese. And
Oh, man.
I think eventually the goal would be able to be like to send you guys some cheeses. I'm gonna look into how I can do like a micro export while playing, to the guidelines of the FDA, but some kind of like micro export available to the Wineworks customers. So I'm going to see how I can do that, because I've been able to visit some of my producers here. This past Wednesday, my hands were in a vat of cheese, like stirring the curds, mixing them to make a nice sheep's milk tome. So it would be awesome to kind of showcase those cheeses back home and let you guys see what I'm up to.
well, hopefully when France opens up again for U.S. visitors, you can offer some nice tours and classes in France.
We will eat well together, not to worry.
Great.
We'll drink okay too, I guess.
Good. Well, I don't know if anybody have any other questions. Otherwise, Ivy, what's the next session?
The next session,
Is it in September?
yeah, it'll be next month, I believe. I think we're gonna do some autumn themed cheese boards. So with some cooler temperature wines and cheeses.
Yeah, more seasonality. You get into kind of richer flavors, and then we're just gonna go crazy for the holiday one. We're just gonna have creaminess and ooey gooey cheeses, and it's gonna be really fun and tasty.
And with festive wines as well.
Yeah.
Great. Excellent. All right. Well, I love that. Everyone have any comments or feedback after this? If there's anything you'd like to see us do differently or add on, please, we'd love to get some feedback on how we're doing this. And I guess work on the cheese end of I guess we're going to continue to do with Feast and see if we can, I think there might have been some confusion on the store hours or something, but we'll work on getting everything a little more, fine-tuned for the future. So,
Any chance you guys could do a meat pairing?
no chance. No.
We can recommend meats. We can work on recommendations.
Maybe I would bring in maybe I could ask.
I think Feast might have,
we have a chef come in and we could do that with a chef. Hannah, you got any chefs over there in France you want to invite?
I could find one.
Yeah. So anyway, maybe we could do
They're
that.
all around.
Huh?
They're all around. I'm sure I can
Yeah,
find
there's just a few chefs there, I'm sure, but yeah, maybe we can.
like yell, hey chef.
We could do a meat class. That would be pretty good. I think that'd be a nice idea. So.
That's
Yeah,
not
and our goal with this is to create a balanced cheese board. So you had a soft cheese, a hard cheese, a blue cheese, and like a semi-hard. And what I did on my board, I kind of showed you guys, is I paired it, with some nuts, with some dried fruit, just things I had around. Those are not necessarily, to accentuate the wine. It's more of to cut the cheese, to kind of be, a full experience, to be a full experience. I see you laugh. To cut the flavors of the cheeses and kind of really just make a fun, complete experience. So that's going to be our goal. And, if we can incorporate salami or saucisson or prosciutto, there definitely are some that are better, suited for certain cheeses than others, depending where they're from or how they're produced. So if we can really give you guys a complete cheese board, then we'll definitely try. So we can try to recommend some kind of additional pairing elements for sure on the next one.
Great. All right, well, I think unless anybody has any other comments or suggestions.
So Margone was pretty difficult to find in Richmond. We couldn't make it to Charlottesville, so we were looking in Richmond for some Margone, and it's, I could find one bottle that was kind of a high-end bottle, so I passed on that. So we went with a fill-in today.
Oh.
Yeah, so do any of these cheeses pair well with our fill-in?
Great.
Yeah,
Well,
you could almost do the appellation. It should be like a pretty mild, kind of the Burgund Pinot Noir. Correct me if I'm wrong. Is not going to be hugely tannic. It's not going to be overwhelming. So I really think the appellation could probably do it right. You could maybe go something a little bit stronger, like a 15-month Comte, something with like a little bit more punch, not so soft, a little bit stronger, but maybe not cheddar level strong.
Okay. Cool.
All right.
Thank you.
We'll be trying the rest of the afternoon.
Great. Well, otherwise, I will see everybody when I get back from France. Hopefully, they'll let me in again. Hopefully, I'll be able to get in thanks to Hannah's passport that allowed me in last time. So otherwise, there won't be much of a harvest in Burgundy if they don't let me in. So I'll be back in a couple weeks, and then we'll maybe, Ivy, we're talking about maybe doing a live from Burgundy harvest Zoom. So you guys can see the action going on over there and how we're doing everything from the vineyards there and winery. So we'll see if we can pull that off. If not, then when I get back.
Pictures.
All right. Well,
All
thank
right.
you everyone for participating and continuing to support us and Feast and your local cheese shop. So look out for the next virtual announcement and we'll see you then.
All right. Thanks, Hannah. See you soon.
Good.
Yeah, see you soon. Bye,
Thank you
guys.
so much. That was great. Have a safe trip.
Thank you.
Thank you.